don't blame you any longer. I am, but I would be happier if you'd believed before this. I thought about calling you, several times. But you didn't. You're only here because you have proof. His mouth twitched. Don't make this more difficult on me than it already is. Difficult on you? He couldn't be serious, except he wasn't smiling. His chin jutted forward. Unbelievable. He meant it. Her blood pressure rocketed into the danger zone. You canceled our wedding and broke up with me over something I didn't do. You called me a liar in front of your family, friends, and church. My business suffered because no one would hire a distrustful, lying wedding photographer. Jenna, she held up her hand, needing to say more. I'm not finished. He nodded once. You're the one who didn't want to get married, but I had to call the guests, return gifts, and deal with the finances. You planned everything and knew who to talk to. She glared at him. Because you were too busy with work and your campaign. Your last-minute cancellation meant deposits weren't returned. Most I'd charged on credit cards, thinking we'd pay them off together after we married. A few places were still owed money, so I had to cover those bills, even though you were the one who wanted the huge, expensive wedding that cost 2 times what I make a year. Her tone was hard like granite, the way her heart felt, but she kept her voice low and steady. Yelling wouldn't accomplish anything. Jenna ignored the look of shock on his face. She wanted him to know how difficult the past 2 years had been because of his actions. My name was on the contracts, but legally, you were the one responsible since you broke our engagement. That's considered a contract, which you ignored. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford an attorney to sue you. I had no idea. He sounded genuinely surprised. His not knowing didn't absolve him of what he'd done. Weddings cost money. Did you think they would return the deposits when we were supposed to get married the next day? I didn't think about that part. Well, I had to. I took on 2 part-time jobs, and my brother paid the mortgage while he was deployed so I wouldn't lose this house. I thought about taking you to small claims court, but had no spare time and no transportation after my car was repossessed. Ash raised his hand, as if reaching out to her, then lowered his arm to his side and blew out a breath. Sounds bad. I hit rock bottom. I was on the verge of losing everything. Then one afternoon, I got caught in a downpour. I ran into the Sweetwater Community Church and met the pastor. I don't know where I'd be today if I hadn't wanted to get out of the rain. Pastor Dan and his wife Trish had worked with Jenna to make a debt repayment plan and given her 2 part-time jobs at the church, one on the cleaning crew and another with the espresso cart. The couple was a true blessing in her life, a gift from heaven to help Jenna find her way back, and continued to be so now. The pastor and his wife helped me straighten myself out. I'm down to 1 extra job as a part-time barista and less than a year from having the credit card debt paid off from the wedding you canceled. So excuse me if I'm not sympathetic that your having to apologize for being wrong is difficult. Ash stared at Jenna as if seeing her for the first time. He shifted his weight between his feet. You should have contacted me. I tried. A 1,000-pound weight of broken promises and crushed dreams pressed down on her chest. She took a breath, then another, trying to remain calm. This wasn't the time to lose it. Pastor Dan had counseled her on the importance of forgiveness and putting the failed relationship behind her, but she needed to get everything out, once and for all. You never responded to any texts, emails, voice messages, or registered letters. When I went to your office, your personal assistant threatened me with a restraining order. That was my father's idea. I thought you wanted to get back together. Another chill traveled the length of her spine. She met Ash's gaze straight on. I can honestly say getting back together has never once crossed my mind. Hurt flashed across his face. Oh no. The last time he'd looked that way had been when his photo went viral. I shouldn't have said that. Jenna had been broken and bent over this for too long. No more. She straightened. I appreciate your coming here. Apology accepted. Let's put this behind us. Relief filled his gaze, but his facial expression remained cautious. Thank you. You're welcome. See, she could be civil. Polite, even. If you tell me the amount, I'll pay back the wedding expenses. Jenna drew in a sharp breath, exhaled slowly. She didn't know if he was serious or not, but she told him the amount. One number she wouldn't forget. Ever. He didn't grimace or flinch or frown. Check okay? She nodded.